I mean, there's nobody. I mean, maybe Scoot, and we'll talk about that later. Maybe Scoot could take that part because Scoot is a. I'm trying to find a word for it. I would say Scoot's like an obnoxious defender. He's kind of like Dennis Smith Jr. He's just a pest. He's not going to be the guy to lock up everybody or anything like that, but he is a pest on defense, and we know a lot of players in the league do not like to be touched. They do not like to be just bothered when they're, dribbling. And Scoot does that. He bothers you. He makes you uncomfortable. Like I said, he's not going to be the lockdown guy, but he's going to make sure that your shot is not easy. And I like that next to LaMelo Ball more than Terry. Not saying Terry doesn't deserve the starter. Terry's bad at defending, because if you look at advanced stats, which I know some of you don't care, but if you look at advanced stats, a lot of times Terry is put up against people he has no business guarding in the first place. So is that really his fault? Don't think so. But I don't think you just automatically get Scoot and start him over Terry. I just don't feel like that's what the Charlotte Hornets will do. Do I think that's the right decision? Of course. But imagine, Terry could be a glorified six man. I really think it would work. It just depends on his personality, what the team's willing to do. Terry has a great personality from my understanding, but it's the fact that a rookie's coming in starting over you. But either way, I think it would work. If Terry comes in, if Terry starts, he starts. But there's a high possibility that he probably will start and Scoot comes in off the bench. Like I said, I don't think that's right. However, I think that's what the Charlotte Hornets do. But if you're Scoot, you're like, oh, well, we got this rookie. You're already playing him off the bench. I know people were saying that about LaMelo, but Scoot would be literally a glorified six-man where he's basically a starter. He'll basically play a lot of minutes. I don't think that it's going to be work his way in like Mark Williams or anything like that. He clearly comes in and starts. Now, and then you also have to think about if we got Victor Wembanyama. All right, he's more of the more and more I watch him, and I feel like this is a consensus now. I don't even know if it's like a hot take or anything, but the more and more I watch him, the more and more, we can have the Scoot Victor conversation now, basically. But the more and more I watch him, the more and more I see he's a power forward, not really necessarily a center, even though he can protect the rim. Oh, he's really good at it. As of right now, he seems more of a power forward. So then this is where you go LaMelo, Terry, Miles, Wemby, and Mark Williams. Who's a better fit for the team, I guess, is what my question is. It's not more who's a better player. It's more who's a better fit for the team. Now, Wemby is so good that he's always going to be a fit for any team. 100% get that. 100% respect that. 100% understand that. But just for the sake of conversation, if I really had to pick, it would just be easier to get Scoot. Now this is saying like, this is just super hypothetical, because if you get the first round pick, you're taking Wemby. If you get the first overall pick, you're taking Wemby. And if you get the second, you're taking Scoot. It's just that simple. I'm not saying that if the Charlotte Hornets get one, they should get Wemby. They should get Scoot instead of Wemby. I'm not saying that. Well, actually, no, that wouldn't even happen. I was about to say if Wemby's available at 2, I'm not saying like, oh, we didn't get Scoot, let's get somebody. No, I'm not saying that at all. If the Charlotte Hornets get first, they should take Wemby. If they get second, and I'm pretty sure Wemby will be taken, they should get Scoot. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, just to create dialogue here, who would you rather have as far as a fit for the team? Not who you think is a better player, who you think will have a better career, just as far as who fits the team better in terms of entering them into the roster and just having all the pieces connect. I think it's Scoot. Because with Wemby, you have to put him at power forward, then you put Miles at the 3, then you put Mark Williams at the 5, and then what does that look like? Wemby, I don't think he can really guard a perimeter like that, and we know that the 4 is more wing kind of base players anyway. None of them are really like into paint like that. And then I guess maybe now what I will say is teams have shooting bigs. So like, for example, let's say the Celtics, for example, they put in Al Horford. Al Horford likes to stand in the corner at the 3. You put Wemby on him and then just have Mark rotate and kind of play the center. That could work. In a way, it just depends on the lineup, because then you got to think Jason Tatum at the 4. So then what do you really want to do? But I think you could put Mark on Al Horford. So it's just weird. It's just a weird thing, because I do feel like Mark Williams can guard like the Brook Lopez of the world, Al Horfords of the world. I'm trying to think of other shooting bigs. Jokic don't shoot like that. But he can shoot. This is kind of what I'm thinking. So Jokic and Embiid, I think you can get away with Mark Williams on them, but then it's like when you have the Jason Tatums, do you pull Wemby off Either do you switch Mark onto Jason Tatum, who's playing at the 4? That is kind of the conversation I'm trying to have. What do you do in those situations? And I don't know. I mean, it's not like you really don't want to take any of them out, but I mean, that might be what you have to do. So it's just, that's where I think like Scoot kind of fits better, because you can go LaMelo, Scoot, whoever at the 3, Miles, Mark. It's a lot more clean cut. Not a lot more thought into it. So I think I think Scoot is the better fit as far as just what we have right now. But when you have a player like Wemby, you make it work. And that's what I'm pretty sure the Hornets will do. But like I said, just to create dialogue. So let me know what you think about that, because I feel like that's very interesting. It's so much easier to insert Scoot into the lineup than it is Wemby. And it might be because I don't want to have Mark Williams lose his minutes. I love Mark Williams. I think he's a really good player. So it's like, do I want him to lose his minutes because Wemby? No, but it's just, I mean, that's the way of the game. That's how the game works. You know, you lose players that you really like, you know, or, you know, they don't play. Mark can come off the bench and be an excellent center off the bench. I mean, it's not like he's just so dominant that he has to start, especially if we get someone like Wemby. But then, like I said, Wemby still seems more of a power forward. Maybe I just need to see more of Wemby defending. So, like, if y'all have seen it, then let me know. Y'all can easily know, like, hey, Wemby's an excellent perimeter defender. He's able to, you know, track his guy from the 3-point line all the way to the paint on drives. He's good at switching, all that. That I don't know. I've seen offensive highlights. I watched a couple of games, and most of the time they obviously have him sit in the paint, but I haven't been able to watch every game. I haven't been able to watch every workout. I haven't been able to watch every highlight. So those of you who have, or just even have seen the highlights and things I have not seen, y'all may know more than me. So please let me know about that, because that's just interesting to me. So I personally think Scoot is the better fit. Like, it's just easy to insert him into the lineup, but I understand completely that Wemby's the better player, and you figure it out. And I mean, that's probably what they'll do.